One thing we do on this show is take your voicemails. 629-888-3931. As it pertains to LSU, got some questions around them, sure, but when you called in and say, hey, put some respect on the Tigers' name, man. And a Florida student, of all people, called in and brought this question. He believes that they should be a top 5 team unanimously in college football. So go ahead and take a listen.
What's up, JD? I'm a University of Florida student, so it's not like I'm an LSU homer or anything, but I don't understand why LSU is not seen as like a unanimous top 5 team in the country going into next year. I mean, they have Garrett Nussmeier. He'll be one of the preseason Heisman favorites. Their running back was a freshman last year and led the team in rushing, so he should be a stud again. Aaron Anderson is going to be seen as one of the top wide receivers in the whole country. They have a lot of returning production at wide receiver. On defense, they got Whit Weeks and Harold Perkins returning. Those are going to be 2 of kind of the 10 best front 7 guys we see in the entire country. And you know it's LSU, so I'm assuming the secondary is going to be pretty good. I know they have some work to do on the O-line, but I just see a lot of returning talent and production. I don't see why they're not seen as one of the 5 major college football playoff national title contenders. Let me know what you think. Thanks.
Appreciate you calling in. Again, 629-888-3931. So for context, preseason top 25, we have LSU at number 8. Now, we also have LSU in our college football playoff 12-team bracket. So make this clear. Your preseason top 25, or for us, our post-spring top 25, is not a prediction to where these teams are going to be when it comes time for the confetti to drop on these folks. But I will say that's kind of where I see LSU across the board for different top 25s that have been released, right around like that 7, 8, maybe 6 on the higher end. LSU, though, absolutely can win a national championship. And we've said that for a while here, kind of flying under the radar. I think we have a video out on the channel here if you go back to the month of, what's like March, early March, talking about how they can win a national championship. They're not really missing anything. Like he just spoke to it, I think, pretty articulately. Garrett Nussmeier, I've told you my affection for Lenora Sellers, but Garrett Nussmeier is the most known commodity at quarterback in college football. If you were ranking Garrett Nussmeier as the best quarterback in college football, I wouldn't have a ton of pushback for you. The staff continuity, Blake Baker, another year as the DC. Joe Sloan, another year as the OC. Okay, the skill, what they did via the portal, grabbing Barry and Brown, and you got Aaron Anderson, Nick Anderson, Caden Durham at the running back position. Like there's a lot to like here, and I didn't even talk about the other portal additions on the defensive side with Patrick Payton. But right now for me, LSU is a movie with a ton of great actors. Like we've all seen those previews for those movies that have Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, and they got a bunch of other like star leads. But then you go watch the movie, you're like, that sucked. Why was that not good? All those actors are great. Why was that movie absolute dog water? Because they weren't able to make it all work together. And that's kind of my thing for LSU here in 2025. I love the cast. I even love Brian Kelly, contrary to what public opinion is in college football, that he's somehow holding them back. I don't think that's the case at all. I think LSU has everything they need to go win a national championship. But here's the thing about teams that win national titles. They're not just talented, they've got the other stuff. And the other stuff you can quantify as whatever you want. Call it leadership, call it grit, call it belief, call it the it factor, whatever. Call it whatever you want to call it. But great football teams have talent, and then they major in the other stuff. Ohio State did not have the other stuff against Michigan, but they somehow, some way honed that here for playoff time, and that other stuff was a big reason why they won the national championship. So for me, for LSU, do they have the other stuff in those key moments against those really key opponents, like at Clemson? The other stuff, I think, is a big reason why LSU has had the records they've had in the opening games under Brian Kelly. When you go to Bama November 8th, when you got A&M rolling into town October 25th, do you have the other stuff to go with all of the talent you have? Because that's where you start working with some magic. You combine the unquantifiables with the talent level at LSU. I get it. College football is wacky. It's sometimes a sport that we just can't explain, and you just say, hey, that's Saturdays in the fall, man. There's no way to really put to logic to what we just saw on the field there. But I think LSU, to what I just said, has everything internally to where if it meets the other stuff, they have every opportunity to win a national title in 2025. So preseason, there's takes to be had out there. I'll say this too. LSU at number 8 for us. All 7 of the teams in front of them made the college football playoff last year and return a lot of talent that we like or we just trust the head coach. trust Brian Kelly, but I want to see the other stuff. If they have that, LSU is going to be in business here and be a national title contender, which we actually think they are right now.